Circulating right now that the Epstein files reveal Ellen DeGeneres as, and I'm quoting this directly from the Post's, Hollywood's most prolific cannibal, that she consumed human flesh.
Guess what? Pizza's here. Hello. Come on down. I lied. We weren't going backstage.
Ellen DeGeneres is named in the Epstein documents, and that part is real. Her name appears in the broader index of over 300 high-profile individuals that show up across the investigative materials.
Hollywood just took a serious hit, and the internet noticed immediately. People across social media started raising eyebrows as a strange connection began getting whispered about online. Some viewers say the glossy world of Hollywood seems to overlap in unusual ways with powerful political circles. And right in the middle of those conversations, one name keeps popping up again and again: Jeffrey Epstein. Ever since those discussions resurfaced, the internet has been buzzing nonstop. One detail that really caught people's attention is the odd way the word pizza keeps showing up around Ellen DeGeneres in old clips. Seriously, once people started noticing it, they couldn't stop seeing it everywhere. Take that famous 2014 Oscars moment. Ellen suddenly asked the crowd if anyone wanted pizza, and then actually ordered pizza right there in the middle of the ceremony. At the time, it looked like a funny, spontaneous gag. But later, the online sleuths started replaying the moment and asking questions. Then there's her interview with Adam Sandler, where, once again, the word pizza randomly pops up during the conversation. People watching those clips online keep pointing out the same thing. The topic shows up so often that some viewers think it feels strange. That repetition alone has been enough to get comment sections lighting up. And people definitely did not forget the Jennifer Aniston moment. You watch closely and you will notice something interesting.
Get on a boat, you cruise down, went over to their house, they made us homemade pizza, and it was an amazing time. I sat next to Bono, it was a good day.
That is a good day.
The second the word pizza gets mentioned, some viewers claim Jennifer Aniston's body language shifts noticeably, and fans online say the entire mood in the room suddenly feels different. What really keeps the conversation going is how, in several interviews with big actors and musicians, the topic randomly drifts toward pizza parties. They talk about them like they are legendary events people never forget. Some internet commentators even joke that the excitement sounds a little too intense for just dough, sauce, mozzarella cheese, and pepperoni. That is exactly why so many viewers started asking a bigger question. Were people in those clips really talking about regular pizza at all? Inside what many online users call the Epstein email collection, the word pizza reportedly appears hundreds of times, close to 1,000 according to some people who have studied the documents. And once that detail started spreading online, the speculation exploded. What really grabs people's attention is something else inside those emails. In many of the messages that were sent and received, the actual email addresses are blacked out or heavily redacted. The moment people noticed that detail, the questions started flying everywhere. If the messages were just casual conversations, why hide who was talking in the first place? Some of the emails mentioned simple things like planning a pizza party for the weekend or saying, "Thank you for pizza today." On the surface, it sounds completely harmless, but those thick redaction bars keep curiosity alive online. Back in 2016, when the so-called PizzaGate theory exploded across the internet, major news outlets and commentators quickly stepped in.
Is anybody hungry? I just feel like everybody's got to be hungry right now. Good. I was hoping you'd say that because I have this crazy idea that I will order pizza. And so if I do, I don't want it to go to waste. Who will eat pizza if I... Jennifer? Yes? Harrison? Yes? Yes? Mark? All right. Too large? What do you think? I'm going to order some pizza. That's what I'll do.
Many of them labeled the entire thing a conspiracy theory or a political rumor spreading during the intense election season. Numbers, a lot of people argued it was pushed online to damage political opponents during a very heated political climate. For years after that, the topic stayed controversial, messy, and constantly debated. Even today, there is still serious disagreement about what parts were factual and what parts were exaggerated online. Some commentators on the internet have also claimed that Ellen DeGeneres was mentioned somewhere in discussions related to the Epstein files. However, now those claims remain widely disputed and unproven. Still, the rumors themselves were enough to keep the conversation alive in certain corners of the internet. Because of that, many viewers started going back and rewatching old clips with a completely different perspective. Suddenly, all those moments about ordering pizza or joking about pizza deliveries started looking suspicious to some people online. Then the attention moved to something else, the set design of her daytime show. Fans began pointing out visual details they thought looked unusual. blue and white striped designs, palm trees placed around the stage, and the very precise symmetrical layout of the set started getting analyzed frame by frame. Internet detectives began saying the patterns looked oddly familiar. Some online commentators even suggested that certain elements of Ellen's show set reminded them of structures people have discussed when talking about Jeffrey Epstein's private island. The blue and white patterns, palm tree-style decorations, and the balanced layout made some viewers say the designs looked similar to photos that had circulated online. Whether coincidence or not, that comparison alone was enough to keep the speculation spreading across social media. Those comparisons spread fast across forums and social media. People began sharing screenshots, side-by-side images, and long discussion threads trying to connect the dots. At the same time, it's important to note that there has never been confirmed evidence linking a television set design to anything related to Jeffrey Epstein.
Look at it.
Oh, well, you know where that is too, right? The similar image to that, right?
No.
I know Jamie does.
What is it?
It's on the set of a famous talk show that's now...
Still, once an idea starts circulating online, it tends to take on a life of its own and keep spreading through comment sections and message boards. Another name that occasionally gets pulled into these conversations is Cabot Phillips. Some online posts have pointed out that he once had a small pizza tattoo on the inside of his lip. Next, that tiny detail quickly became a talking point in certain internet circles. Because of past online rumors tied to the word pizza, people began speculating and sharing theories across social media threads. Some commenters also brought up that Phillips previously had a relationship with someone named Erika Kirk. According to people discussing the topic online, she had connections within entertainment spaces that were linked to Ellen's show. That connection alone was enough for internet sleuths to start building long speculation threads trying to link the names together. And here is where the story starts getting even more attention. Before Cabot Phillips became widely known in political media, he actually appeared on Ellen's show. In fact, she helped introduce him to a massive national audience. During that segment, Ellen welcomed him on stage and talked about the viral video he had created with his siblings. The show even brought his whole family into the spotlight during the interview. At the time, the moment was presented as a fun and wholesome viral story. Cabot and his siblings had created a zombie prank video that was spreading rapidly across the internet. The show treated it like a lighthearted celebration of a family suddenly going viral online. But critics of the situation often point out something they believe is important. While people familiar with large television productions say that nothing on a major daytime show happens randomly. Every guest is researched, every segment is carefully planned, and producers decide exactly what millions of viewers will see. That is why some voices online keep asking the same question again and again. Was everything truly just a coincidence? For many commentators, this is where the debate really starts heating up.
These circles of friends that you guys have. You told a story about going and having pizza at the Clooney's in Lake Como.
Yeah, that's all an Aniston. It's like George and I would love you to come over for pizza, but
how was the pizza? Was it good? Did he make it
Mom's
himself?
pizza was better than Clooney's. They both made. Everybody made a certain kind of pizza.
There's no pizza we didn't love.
They argue that on major television shows, every appearance is carefully arranged behind the scenes. Producers review backgrounds, prepare segments, and plan exactly how each story will be presented to the audience. When a television show reaches millions of viewers, almost nothing is left to chance. That's why some internet investigators say moments like this deserve a closer look. They question whether the viral story was simply a fun television segment, or just perfectly timed exposure. The zombie prank video had already started gaining traction online, and Ellen's show helped push it even further into the spotlight. Still, none of those connections prove anything by themselves. What they have done, however, is keep people talking, searching, and revisiting old clips that continue popping up online. Every time another detail resurfaces, the discussion starts all over again. Then came the part that made many people online feel uneasy. Not long ago, some users claimed that when they searched the word pizza inside document releases tied to the U.S. Department of Justice Epstein files, the term appeared hundreds of times. According to several posts circulating across social media, the search results reportedly showed close to 1,000 mentions. But here's where the situation got even more confusing. Some internet users now say that when they search those same documents again, the number of results appears lower than before. That sudden change quickly fueled even more speculation across forums and discussion threads. People immediately started asking a simple question. If the word pizza inside those documents truly refers to ordinary food conversations, then why would the number of results seem to change at all? For some observers online, that detail alone raised curiosity. Others, however, point out that there are far more ordinary explanations. database updates, document reorganizing, or technical indexing changes can all affect how search results appear inside large archives. Even small technical adjustments can cause the number of visible results to shift. Still, the changing numbers have kept online investigators talking and revisiting the topic. But the conversation grows even heavier when another name enters the discussion: Stephen "Twitch" Boss. Boss was widely known as the energetic DJ on Ellen's show. And over the years, he became a major fan favorite with viewers everywhere. His tragic passing in 2022 shocked fans and left many people reflecting on his impact and presence on the show.
On Wednesday, news broke that Stephen "Twitch" Boss died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And now, ET has learned that the former Ellen Show DJ left a note behind, indicating that he couldn't go on.
Many fans were left completely shocked and heartbroken when the news broke. Official reports stated that Stephen "Twitch" Boss was found unresponsive in a motel room, and authorities later ruled the situation as self-inflicted. The loss sent waves of sadness through his family, friends, and fans across the world. People who had watched him dance, laugh, and bring energy to television for years struggled to process what had happened. However, as often happens online, some people on social media began questioning parts of the story and circulating their own theories. A handful of posts even suggested that Boss may have discovered something troubling connected to Hollywood and was planning to step away from the industry. But it is important to note that there has never been verified evidence supporting those claims. What continues to make the situation especially emotional for many fans is the heartbreaking timing. Boss passed away just 3 days before what would have been his 9th wedding anniversary. That small but painful detail hit people hard, especially those who followed his career and admired the love he often showed for his family. For years, fans knew Stephen "Twitch" Boss as someone full of energy, positivity, and joy. Whether he was dancing, laughing with guests, or bringing life to the stage, he built a reputation as one of the most upbeat personalities on television. Because of that image, the news of his passing stunned many viewers and left people searching for answers. Some social media users began pointing to small details from reports about the motel where he was found, claiming certain aspects of the situation felt unusual to them. Those discussions quickly spread across forums and video platforms where people debated different possibilities and tried to piece together their own explanations. At the same time, investigators officially ruled the case as self-inflicted, and no verified evidence has been presented that contradicts those findings. Even so, the combination of rumors, resurfaced clips, and older Hollywood controversies continues to keep the conversation circulating online. And this is where the speculation really ramps up.
Officials have reported cases of high fever, nausea, death.
Yes?
She's home right now. There's some sort of a weird virus outbreak because this is
Okay, well, I'm pulling the driveway right now.
Some sources on social media claim that Stephen "Twitch" Boss may have been close to revealing something troubling connected to Ellen before his passing. Again, those claims remain unverified, but the rumors alone have been enough to keep people talking across the internet. But it's important to remember that those claims remain completely unverified and are based only on rumors circulating across the internet. Still, that narrative continues spreading in certain online spaces, with some people saying he appeared to go quiet on social media before the tragedy. For many observers, that detail alone was enough to spark even more discussion and speculation. At the same time, conversations online also began bringing up the name Cabot Phillips again. Internet users quickly pointed out the small pizza tattoo he once had on the inside of his lip. Now, that tiny detail immediately triggered fresh speculation in some online communities, especially because of earlier rumors tied to the word pizza. Critics also mentioned that Ellen once gave him a national platform early in his rise to public attention. When he appeared on her show during the viral zombie prank moment with his siblings, the segment introduced him to millions of viewers across the country. Because of all these separate details being mentioned together, when some commentators began asking the same question repeatedly: could everything surrounding these stories really just be coincidence? That question started appearing even more often when older social media posts from commentator Charlie Kirk began resurfacing online. Years ago, he wrote that, in his opinion, the word pizza might sometimes be used as a kind of code in certain political conversations. Those old posts are now being shared again as people revisit the topic. Supporters of that theory point to emails connected to Jeffrey Epstein where the word pizza reportedly appeared many times. Some messages talked about planning pizza parties, asking about upcoming pizza gatherings, or remembering how much fun previous pizza parties had been. At first glance, someone reading those messages might simply assume Epstein really liked pizza, but another detail often mentioned by people discussing the topic adds another layer to the conversation. According to various reports about his lifestyle, Epstein was known for very strict eating habits and reportedly focused heavily on healthy food. People familiar with his routine have described him as extremely health-conscious and not someone who regularly ate foods like pizza. For some online commentators, that contrast is exactly what keeps the speculation alive. That detail is exactly why people online keep digging through those emails. For some internet investigators, the situation feels strange. If someone known for extremely strict health habits rarely touched junk food, then seeing the word pizza appear over and over again in messages connected to him raised eyebrows. To them, it seemed unusual that a person focused so heavily on clean eating would constantly be discussing pizza parties. Because of that contrast, certain online communities began suggesting that the word pizza might have meant something else in those conversations. However, it is important to point out that no official investigation has confirmed that interpretation. Even so, the repeated references inside those emails continue fueling debate and speculation across the internet. One of Jeffrey Epstein's accusers, Virginia Giuffre, also described his strict eating habits in her memoir, Nobody's Girl. In the book, she explained that Epstein was extremely disciplined about what he ate and mostly stuck to foods he considered healthy. According to her account, his diet often included tofu, salmon, chickpeas, ginger, and other items he believed were clean and nutritious. For some people reviewing the emails today, that description raises even more questions. If someone rarely ate junk food and paid close attention to healthy meals, why would messages connected to him talk so often about pizza parties? To online investigators, that contrast feels unusual, and it continues to keep the speculation alive. The conversation online also circles back again to Cabot Phillips. People didn't just focus on the small pizza tattoo inside his lip. Critics also noticed that he posted about pizza multiple times on social media, which quickly caught attention in certain discussion threads. One post in particular included the phrase, "Pizza talk is the new pillow talk," and that line immediately sparked debate across several online communities. When some users also pointed out that he appeared to like comments under the tattoo post, including one referencing the phrase, "One bite, everyone knows the rules." That line is widely recognized from a popular pizza review show. While the comment may simply reference that show and nothing more, internet communities still analyzed it closely. As often happens online, even small details can quickly turn into major talking points when people begin connecting different pieces of a story together. At a certain point, many commentators online begin asking the same question again and again. When several strange details seem to appear around the same topic, are they just coincidences, or do they start looking like a pattern? That question alone is what keeps many of these conversations alive across social media. When it comes to Ellen DeGeneres, rumors and online theories about her have circulated for years. Critics often point to past controversies, unusual symbolism some viewers claim to notice in old clips, and tragedies involving individuals connected to her professional circle. Once people begin linking those moments together, a larger narrative starts forming. And that narrative spreads quickly across the internet. As more clips, interviews, and social media posts get pulled into the conversation, some online communities start looking at them frame by frame. Critics point to repeated pizza references, resurfaced interviews, and older online posts that now get re-examined with a completely different perspective. For people following these theories, those details start to look connected. They also bring up tragedies involving people connected to Ellen's professional world. Two names that often appear in those discussions are Stephen Twitch Boss and actress Anne Heche, who had a past relationship with Ellen many years ago. Both situations were ruled as separate tragedies. But in online debates, they are sometimes pulled into the same narrative. That is how the speculation continues to grow. Internet communities constantly revisit old clips, posts, and past stories while trying to connect pieces they believe might reveal something bigger. With every new thread or video that appears online, the conversation spreads even further. And this is where the discussion online begins taking an even darker turn. In certain corners of the internet, some people have started asking a much bigger question, one that keeps fueling the debate and pushing the speculation even further. Many people following these discussions say the same thing again and again. Nobody seems willing to answer one big question. Just how deep does this Ellen rabbit hole really go? Some sources pushing these theories claim the connections could run far deeper than most people realize. They argue that if all those so-called pizza references truly meant something beyond ordinary conversations, then the system behind it would have to involve many different people quietly working behind the scenes. Those same online discussions also bring up Erika again. Some posts point to alleged links that internet users claim she had with a group called Romanian Angels. In those conversations, commentators suggest there may have been activities happening outside public view. However, none of those claims have been proven. Still, believers in the theory say the way certain names keep appearing together feels too close for comfort. Because of that, some voices online argue that Ellen DeGeneres may have known more than she ever publicly admitted. Others even speculate that Cabot Phillips might have understood pieces of the situation as well. And then there are questions about Erika's role entirely. Was she fully aware of what was happening? Or could she have simply been caught in the middle without realizing the bigger picture unfolding around her? At this point, the biggest question people keep asking is simple. Will all of this eventually fade away like many internet rumors before it? Or will new information come out that finally settles the debate once and for all? That is the mystery keeping the conversation alive across forums, comment sections, and social media. Now, we want to hear from you. And what do you think about everything discussed in this video? Drop your thoughts down in the comments and let's talk about it. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more stories like this, and share this video if you found it interesting. And don't go anywhere. Check out the next video on the screen, because the next story gets even messier.